I want to know, why do you think God would call a woman to be head over men when, on the other hand, he said that every time you listen to the woman, you suffer?
But you're kind of in the Old Testament, right? And so because you're going Old Testament, I do understand what you're saying with respect,
And what am I
but
saying?
what you're saying is you don't believe women should lead.
No, I'm trying. Not only do I not believe it, I know for a fact that God would not put a woman over a man because that's not his order. And he said, well, every time you listen to the woman, if you notice, every time the man listens to the woman, he suffers. So why would he call a woman to be a preacher or a pastor or a teacher over men when he knows that the man going to suffer every time he listens to the woman?
So because you have been engaged twice and never married, and because you are a conservative, you're speaking from your perspective.
No,
And
no, no, I'm reading from the Bible.
No.
No, that is in the
So
Bible.
let's do a hold on. Let's do this rhetorically. Rhetorically, let me ask you this. If God did not intend for leaders to be women, why would he make the opportunity for women leadership? Biblically, Paul said,
God did not make the opportunity for women to lead.
no,
Men are
Paul,
weak, and they allow that to happen. If men were not weak, there would be no way women would be in leadership roles. It would
well,
be
maybe that's
impossible.
why we are in leadership roles, baby.
I'm sorry?
Maybe that's why we are in leadership roles.
Because men are weak.
Because remember, submission means to submerge. And I think a lot of times what happens to individuals, they are not understanding that women are supposed to submit, but give us something to submit to. But like I said earlier, it is an understanding. I think people who kind of don't believe women should be in leadership.
It's not that I don't believe it. I know they shouldn't be in leadership because it's
but
not.
That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion. It's not the order of God.
So why would God present the opportunity?
God doesn't present that opportunity at all.
Hold on.
That is allowed.
The Bible
that
says,
is allowed by men because the men are weak.
Okay.
If men were, we repeated it, but if men were not weak, there's no way that women would be in leadership.
Well, that's your opinion, and you.
No, that's not my opinion. That's from the Word. It's in the Word.
Okay, but let's go to the Word, because the Bible declares that. Remember Phoebe. Remember these women in the gospel. Paul said it. He said these women in the gospel.
But those women were led by men.
And so, wait a minute. Do you believe? Now, I'm going to answer this. Do you believe that God can do all things but fail?
I'm sorry?
Do you believe that God can do all things but fail?
God can do anything that he wants. He has.
And so, you just answered my question.
But that's not why women are in leadership.
But baby,
women are in so-called leadership because the men are weak. And if you notice, the more they allow women to take over.
You just said. You're contradicting what you just said.
But if you notice, the more women are taking over, the worse things are becoming.
You're contradicting what you just said.
What do you mean?
Because you sat there on your beautiful leather couch and you stated that I believe God can do anything he wants.
I know he can, yes.
Wait a minute. Let me help you. Because now you've dug a hole and let's try to get you out. Because you stated openly that God can do anything he wants. So are you dictating the hand of God? Because you just said he can do anything he wants.
But I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
No. It's very clear.
What does that have to do with women in leadership?
No. Listen to what you said, baby. You said, I believe God can do anything.
I'm older than you. How can I be your baby?
Because right now.
I'm not your baby.
Okay, sir. God, you say God can do anything he wants. You said that. You said it bold.
I know, but what's your point? Everybody knows God can do what he wants.
That if a God can do whatever he wants, he cannot turn the heart of the king.
What?
The Bible said that he has the ability to turn the heart of the king.
What
That's
does that
scripture.
have to do with women in leadership, though?
Because you just said that God can do anything he wants.
But are you saying God put women in leadership?
I'm saying God can do whatever he wants.
Are
I'm
you
saying
saying
exactly
that God put women in leadership?
God can do whatever he wants.
Are you saying that God put women in leadership? I'm asking that.
I'm saying God can put anybody in the seat.
We know that. One more time because I need to move on. Are you saying that God put women in leadership over men?
No, that's what you said. I am saying.
No, I'm asking you, are you saying that?
I'm saying God can put women in leadership.
God can, but he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
So you mean to tell me that the Immaculate Conception, Mary, that she was necessary, that God chose a woman to bear his son? That's how necessary women are.
But that didn't make Mary a leader, though. She was just a virgin, hadn't done anything wrong, so she was able to have this baby.
I believe, this is my perspective.
But she wasn't a leader.
I believe by her saying okay to every bit of ridicule, rumors, and slander because of the way the Immaculate Conception came about, it put her in a level of leadership.
No.
Because
no, it did not. Not at all.
Wait a minute. This I'm saying.
But it did not put her in leadership at all.
Okay. So
she was just the oven that carried the bread. Once he put the bread, the bacon in the oven, she was just a bread holder. That's all.
Okay. Okay. No. That's your opinion. But
no, it's not. That's not my opinion.
My perspective is the fact that she took an assignment to lead the way of the Messiah's birth.
No.
She led the way.
No, you're making this out to be something that's not true. But let me ask.
Let me ask you this. That God can do anything.
Mary.
But now you're backtracking.
Hello?
Because you're saying if God can do anything, he can't make women leadership?
He could, but he won't. He doesn't change his rules at all. God is not going to change his order just to please a woman. Believe me.
God can do whatever he wants.
We know that. You keep repeating that, but he's still not going to change his order to make a woman a leader. He's not going to do that. But let me ask.
Let me
ask you this.
That God can do anything.
Mary.
But now you're backtracking.
Hello?
Because you're saying if God can do anything, he can't make women leadership?
He could, but he won't. He doesn't change his rules at all. God is not going to change his order just to please a woman. Believe me.
God can do whatever he wants.
We know that. You keep repeating that, but he's still not going to change his order to make a woman a leader. He's not going to do that.
But see, you don't believe that.
No, I know that.
No. But are you God?
Let me ask you this. I know that God doesn't change his order at all. He'll let you suffer until you come to his order. He's not coming to you down to your out of order or disorder life. But let me ask, if your husband told you that you could not be a pastor, you need to stay home and watch over the children, be his wife, and cook and clean, you cannot be a pastor, would you stop? Would you step down?
Well, to answer your question truthfully, one, he wouldn't do that.
I'm asking you, if he told you that, would you step down?
If he asked me that, he would have to give me a reason. And if the reason was good enough, I'll do it.
If your husband told you to step down, you can no longer be a pastor, you need to be a wife and a mama to the children, you would do that?
If he would ask me that, I would do that.
Nice. Yeah. There you go.
But he ain't gonna do that.
But you don't know that.
When I married my husband and I had an understanding. And he was a pastor before I was, believe it or not. So we pastored together. I do believe that the Bible says, with all thy getting, get an understanding. And so I believe that making decisions based upon biblical and natural, you come with a clearer understanding. And so I have an understanding.
But what would happen if you realize, oh my God, I'm allowing this woman to be over me by allowing her to be a pastor. That's wrong. It's not good for her, and it's not good for the church. I'm going to have her step down and be a wife and a mother. You would say okay to that?
If, and the word is if that was something we
you would
both
say
agreed
okay to that?
If it was something we both agreed to.
But even if you didn't agree to it, would you obey him and step down?
I would obey my husband if he asked me that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask.
But he ain't gonna do that.
But you don't know that. He may wake up one day and realize he was wrong for allowing you to be a pastor when he realized that it's not from God.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? Since you're asking all the questions, let me ask you one.
Well, I'm asking questions because of my show. What?
Are you married?
No.
That's exactly why you're not.
Why is that?
Because the Bible says,
people always
all
say
that get an understanding. Remember, you were engaged twice. You
I'm telling you,
72.
I'm telling you this about, I'm telling you God's order and you're disagreeing with it.
Which means that at some point you've got to compromise and you got to get an understanding about what's befitting.
You're never supposed to compromise with a woman.
So my husband and I have an understanding.
Amazing.
We have an understanding. In fact, my husband is a man that pushes and he supports and vice versa. And that's why I'm happily married. And sir, you will not.
Amazing. So let me ask, do you believe that that Jesus is the Son of God or God?
I believe Jesus is the Son of God.
And what do you think of those pastors who are teaching that Jesus is God?
I mind my business because the Bible said, let every man work out his own soul salvation.
Do you think?
And so I don't get in the business of everyone else. I only concerned about the goodings and Unity Charlotte International.
But is it good that these people are teaching that Jesus is God rather than the Son?
That's your opinion.
No, I'm asking you.
You see, you're conservative. Why you go on that binge? You can't bring me there. Next question.
I can't bring you where?
What I'm not going to do, I believe in conflict resolution, and I do know, I do know how and why people operate in your specific position as a conservative. But when it comes down to certain things, I am concerned what God put in my hand.
Are you a conservative?
No.
Are you liberal?
No, I'm not answering that.
You're not answering that either? Well, you have a right not to answer that. That's totally right. But let me ask.
I will say this. I am bipartisan about some things.
Oh, okay.
Some things.
Okay. Well, if you
I'm
don't
bipartisan about some things.